responding to that?
Yes, thanks very much, Senator. I think the devil is in the details and in the language, and we really need to clarify once and for all, bring in all the airline CEOs and ask them, please define personal information. It may not say that Senator Britt or Senator Hawley, that we are targeting pricing on that. But what it will say is there are algorithms built into these systems that track how you shop, when you shop, why you shop, how often you book, how long you're on there. I think if we all knew, I think if we all knew what the airlines knew about us, it would blow our minds. And I can tell you, at Consumer Reports in 2001, almost 25 years ago, we first stumbled upon this odd thing where we were doing testing just to see which were the best websites. And we suddenly found, well, wait a minute, in real time, doing very precise testing with identical itineraries, we were getting different results on different browsers and different computers. That's 24 years ago. I can't imagine how much the technology has improved since then. So we need to clarify, what is it about your shopping habits? They may not know personal information about you per se, but we need to clarify that.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Pinkerton, I'd like to just talk to you real quick. Alabama's 4 largest airports are predominantly served by carriers within your organization there. Look, we depend on that, the reliability, the accessibility to these various different markets. I mean, it determines whether or not I get home for my daughter's volleyball game on Thursday night, or I am back home in time for parent dinner with my son and his team. And so, that just scratches the surface. Every, working parent or people that are traveling around have things that they're depending on. I have a question for you in just the sustainability to those markets. What are you looking for? And just very quickly, what keeps those routes open and reliable?
Yes, so you've identified small community and medium community service as being absolutely essential. And I will say that this network system that the carriers have developed, hub and spoke, is what enables them to efficiently, with fewer planes and fewer people, serve those markets. I talked earlier about the increasing costs, whether it be regulatory costs, our labor costs, our fuel costs are all increasing. So to the extent that we can help keep costs down, will help continue to see airfares be at all-time lows. So there are some structural issues.
And I'm running out of time, so just quickly, what are those structural issues? Structural issues,
no one's making a 50-seat plane anymore, and so you may see less frequencies in small communities, but you're seeing more seats because they're flying bigger planes. That's good. And certainly for small communities, the pilot supply and mechanic supply has been a problem. What we've seen is the regionals increase wages for pilots, and that's
and so I think about somewhere like Dothan, that is the hub and spoke, and obviously services our military community to right there, and we obviously don't want to see that continue to grow. I'd like, Mr. Anderson, when we're looking at that, and I know Allegiant is the only airline that actually services Gulf Shores International Airport, and I would like to do a little invitation here for everyone to come to Alabama's beautiful white sand beaches. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. We're talking about other destinations here. I think you could just come right down to Alabama's Gulf Shores. But that has proven to be wildly successful. When you look at that, I think you've seen over 40,000 travelers coming down back and forth to Alabama's beautiful beaches. Talk to me, and I think you also service Huntsville as well, about how you added those routes to underserved or new markets. What were the challenges or the barriers that you faced to expanding, and what is the decision point for continuing those?
Thank you for the question, Senator. As we evaluate markets, we have hundreds of markets that we look at regularly. 90% of those currently do not have nonstop service. So it fits our model beautifully. We focus 100% on the leisure customer, which is a price-sensitive customer, and the value we offer is low fares with convenience. And when we entered into the Gulf Shores and the Huntsville markets in Alabama, those fit our model beautifully, and they've been successful, and we're excited about what we're seeing. We have service from Kansas City into Gulf Shores and other communities throughout the Midwest. But when we see the ability to stimulate demand and keep costs low, that's good, and that allows us to continue to grow our unique model.
Mr. Biffle, I'd like for you to answer that same question as well, but before I do that, Roll Tide. It's a big win on Saturday. Good stuff.
That was huge, right?
It really was. My favorite play was the Caden Proctor to the side, number 74, getting the ball. I don't know if y'all watch this, but you should Google it right now.
Oh, well, my favorite was the look on Kirby's face when he was walking off the field. But
that was something, too.
That was good.
So tell me, how do you decide about new markets and how do you expand those?
So look, we unlike Allegiant, we're more in competitive. I forget it's less than a few percent of our routes have no competition. So we tend to focus on giving consumers a choice in established markets. And so, and our smallest aircraft is 186 seats. So I have a difficult time, even though I'm extremely familiar with Alabama and all the markets there, even Gulf Shores. Some of them are smaller for us, and so it's more of a challenge for us to serve. So we typically look at markets that we could fly at least twice a week. So the minimum market size, if we look at stimulation and so forth, we're going to be looking for a few hundred passengers that we think could go per week.
And what would create an incentive structure for you to come there? What do you look for in that market?
So we're just looking, is the demand there from A to B? We do some limited connections in some of our bases, but we're typically looking at that local market. And so, how many people want to go there? The next thing is, what is the season? Is the season long? For example, some of these small communities that have difficulty. I mean, I really feel for these. I'm from rural Texas, so I understand how a lot of this works too. And so I know that a lot of communities, they're very seasonal too. So small, seasonal, it makes it difficult. And so I have a soft spot for these places, but the economic realities oftentimes are challenging for them. This is where I do and would support some type of EIS, and possibly needs to be looked at for the size. I think EIS needs to be moved up. I think, and also not just size, but just how hard is it to get there, right? So you've got places. Let's take the Northwest United States. I mean, you get into the Dakotas and over. I mean, it can get really hard to get somewhere. I mean, not only do they not have service, it may be 500 miles to drive to the next place that might have service, and it's not even great service there. So I do think there needs to be a more holistic approach there. But we look at the market size and the potential. Can it stimulate? And in general, we look at where, in many cases, where the legacies charge a lot of money, and we're attracted to that.
Thank you.
Okay, I have another matter I've got to attend to, so I'm going to hand the gavel off to Senator Hawley as I recognize Senator Booker, who will be up next. It is unlikely that I will be able to return before you've